happy birthdays as well. You always find the latest courtyard permanent solution. Out of the box.
Hello and welcome to Radio Waves by todderbert. Today I'll be reviewing the Kaito KA340 emergency lantern. It has an AM, FM, shortwave, weather band radio, MP3 player, and Bluetooth functionality built in. I purchased this radio for a total of $29.99 shipped from Amazon. And here's the box. On the front you'll see two radios, a gold one and a green one. I got the gold one. Awesome. My first gold radio. Bluetooth. NOAA. Quality mark Kaito Electronics Incorporated. Okay. Here we got some side views of it. Here we got some frequency information, some lights. Okay, so I'll go over that in the manual with you. And of course it has all the stuff on the back. You guys can pause if you want to see all that, but we'll try to touch on most of there. Oh, and then here, look at this. Look at all these colors. Yellow, yeah, I want yellow. Yellow and white though, I'm not too sure about yellow and white, but yellow, cool. I don't know, it's like a hot orange or hot pink there. Interesting. All right, so let's get to it. See what's inside the box. All right, on top here we got a cable, micro USB to charge the battery, internal lithium ion. So go ahead and just pull this all out of here. I think the box is empty. Yep, left in the box. Let's see, we got a manual. This is what I wanted to show you. They're really concise and they're really informative too in this, which is nice. Let me just show you, kind of just touch real quick on it because I might forget to tell you later. And here it is. So the frequency ranges, AM is 520 to 1710, FM is 87.5 to 108, shortwave 1 is 3.2 megahertz to 8 megahertz, and shortwave 2 is 9 megahertz to 18 megahertz. Weather band has all 7 channels. Now they have the lumens for the flashlights. So the forward flashlight has a rated 35 to 45 lumen, and then the emergency lamp is 55 to 65 lumens. So yeah, this flashlight has 5 LEDs, and this emergency lantern part of it has 8 LEDs. It's pretty awesome when you see this. LED lit time, this is cool. So full charge of power, I guess they mean at full power. Flashlight's 25 to 30 hours, amazing, very good. And emergency lantern's about 14 to 16 hours. The MP3 player has support for 32 gigabytes on the micro SD card. And the Bluetooth version is 4.0. And you talk about the power consumption, and we'll go over that stuff. 2.25 inch speaker, cool. Oh, and the Siren, 90 decibels. Yeah, that's pretty loud. It'll wake up the neighborhood for sure. But no, really good manual, pretty happy with that. Let's get to the radio. Comes bubble wrapped. There it is. Sweet. Look at that. I love this gold. Awesome. Okay, we'll go over dimensions here. So we're looking at a total of 5.5 inches wide, 8 inches high, and a depth of 2.5 inches. Okay, so since I have this side of the radio, the left side, we have a 5 LED flashlight, super bright. We have some connections here. We have the DC 5 volt out for charging your phones. We have your DC 5 volt in for charging the internal lithium battery. We have a micro SD card slot for the MP3 playback. On top of the radio here, you'll see there's a solar panel, and it's angled. And if you look here, there's a red LED lit. And if I covered the panel, you can see the light goes out, so it's showing it's charging the battery with the solar. I like that. So we'll work our way down. You'll see some writing here, the bands I read off earlier. We have some buttons. This is the back function for the MP3 playback. We have pause play for MP3 playback. This also functions as the pick up and hang up for your phone that's attached via Bluetooth. And you also have a microphone for the Bluetooth here for when you want to use the microphone functions when you're connected. And here's the forward button for your MP3 playback. Here we have the volume knob, which acts as your on-off switch. Okay. Over here we have the tuning knob, and you'll notice there's rings of the different bands. So you see the first inner ring has the NOAA bands 1 through 7, and then your first shortwave band 3.2 to 8, and of course your FM band here is the second band going on top there, and then our AM band on the bottom, and the final and third band is the second shortwave band from 9 to 18. Access those bands is this band select switch, which has 7 positions, but it doesn't really indicate where you're at, so you kind of just have to count it as you go so you know where you're at. Okay, And then the last one, so you'll have your FM, AM, shortwave 1, shortwave 2, weather band. There's the alert mode, and then the MP3 playback mode. And if you do not have a SD card inserted, it automatically defaults to Bluetooth. Okay, here we have the light mode, so your forward light. Turn it on with that, nice and bright. Okay, and then we have middle, of course, off, and then to the right is your room lantern. It's very nice. Definitely lights up the room. Okay, and then here is our siren switch. So, yeah, pretty loud. And then to this side here engages the charging output of for the device, and it uses the battery. So when I show you here, it does show that it's indicated that it's on, even with the solar covered. So you know that that's working. Okay, so then, yeah, over here we have that lantern you saw. It has 8 LEDs inside, which is super bright. It has this reflector. You'll notice that red light, the charging light. And down here, there's another red light that comes on when you're in tune for your radio stations. Cool idea, I love it. All right, so let's see, the bottom, nothing. On the back side, we have an antenna. Antenna comes up. It extends out to a total of 13 inches, and it rotates almost 360, but it runs into the handle. So one cool feature of the radio is the built-in handle. I really love that. It's rugged, solid feeling. Feels like you just grab and go with the sucker. So meant to be brought anywhere, really. I like that. Okay, again on the back, we have the Dynamo crank. I'm not going to show you, but it pops open and crank away. Here is a really cool thing, which I always promote. When you're looking for an emergency radio, it's always great to have an optional source of power if your internal battery no longer works. This 18650 rechargeable lithium battery we all know about is rated at 2300 milliamp hours. It's inside here, and it's, I think, permanent. There's no way to get to it unless you probably took this whole thing apart, and I believe it's hot glued here. I know that because I had to open this just to see, because my lantern, this was turned a little bit, so I thought I'd adjust it. So I took this ring off and pulled the LED assembly out. I noticed the battery inside, and it was definitely hot glued in here. So it's more of a permanent setup. But if that battery ever fails, you do have the optional 3 AAA batteries to put in behind this door. But you do need a Phillips screwdriver to access this panel. But definitely cool function. Good job, Kaito, again. For the money, they're really doing a good job here. I feel like I'm getting my 30 bucks worth for sure. So let's go ahead and extend my antenna. We'll just turn it on. We're just going to do quick scans. We're not going to do anything crazy. I'm going to go to the weather band here, which I think is, so you got to kind of feel where it's at. I think we're in weather band mode there, so we'll turn it on. And I'm not. I'm in alert mode. So one more.
Cook, Boone, and Kane counties in Illinois, as well as Walworth and Kenosha counties.
So what you do is you find your weather station that you like, and once you find it, yeah, one thing you'll notice, it has a little bit of a hiss when you turn it all the way down, but it goes away when the volume comes on. What you do is you find your station for the weather band and put the volume you want, and then click this to alert, and now it's still on, showing you're in tune, and the radio is on, but it's in standby mode, so if an alert comes through, it'll automatically turn the radio on. So that's how that alert function works. It's basic, but it works.
10.5 feet measured at 7 p.m. Friday.
Okay, so you get the idea how that works. Let's go to FM, see what this thing sounds like. So we can get some good stations. Let me first dial this down here. So there's a little indicator. It's kind of hard to see. It's almost like these could be painted, but you know, maybe they'll do that in the future. Definitely a little gold treatment there would look really cool with the gold on the radio. So we'll see what we can find. This is step tuning, so.
When you see me smile, me, I'm feeling broken hurt.
Sounding pretty good, the audio.
Will you this moment?
Donald Trump's former deputy campaign manager, Rick.
I want to be more. God, my God.
at us99.com.
It's Rick Johnson from all the others.
Lord have mercy. For the masses, who do you think you are? Dreaming about being a
Okay, so you get an idea how the FM sounds. Sounds really good. Okay, we're gonna go to the AM. Okay, and then let me see. I gotta see where I'm at. That's the thing with this dial. So at the AM, we are at the. Okay, let's get to the beginning of the band. So if you look at the AM scale. There we are. Look at the pointer. Okay, we're at the bottom of the AM. We'll just quickly scroll through and so we can pick up any major stations.
7 degrees, mostly cloudy, with the low of 32. Tomorrow we'll have a high of 46. Talk a little bit of Olympics. I know I'm going to be driving like a bat out of hell to get back to the western suburbs so that I can...
Kind of what the first season sort of comprises. There's 3 brothers, the Shelby brothers, Tom, John, and Arthur. So, and their Aunt Polly. So,
why is it called Peaky Blinders?
So they wear the, you know, the...
Breached, and the car that hit the barrier was not near the White House itself, nor...
3. That's SCHOOL 237913.
Get ready for summer at Hyde's RV and Boat. Hyde features cedar bass boats, G3 aluminum boats.
Info, let me look at it. Oh, there it is.
For iZone bed, you'll get a free queen adjustable base.
So I think you could do a little bit of AM DXing with this. Seems to have a little bit of range.
Meanwhile, you know, Mark Emmert makes $2 million a year. There's a whole bunch of people at that place that are making 6 figures.
Okay, so you get the idea there. Let's go to Shortwave 1. And for Shortwave 1, I'm going to hook up a wire. I think most people that have a radio like this are probably going to have a wire just because, I mean, it's worth it to have a piece of wire laying around to clip to the radio or to wrap around the radio's antenna. Give us a little extra reception, especially if you're in an emergency situation. So Shortwave 1, tell by the dial here, 3.2 to 8. So we're going to go down, see if we can pick up something. I was able to earlier.
Time came.
There we go.
God sent forth his son, born of a woman. Wow. Why?
Trying to see where I'm at. Okay. Gotta go real slow on the shortwave. But it does work well. I'm not sure, is that a time signal, guys? I don't do a lot of shortwave listening, I do some. Oh, there's a station.
I had led a racist mob against Leslie Jones. I didn't send a single racist tweet. I didn't say a single thing. You said this movie's gonna flop. This movie's gonna flop, and I defended her in the movie. And then online, I made a couple of jokes about the fact that she's ugly, which she is. I never said anything remotely.
Time signal. Seems like it's well, it's not really close, but the idea the pointer's pointing right there between there. So we get one more voice.
Yet I'm going to trust you. Because I believe.
No significa que Dios la salva, aunque Dios
There we go.
la salvó. Jesús la salvó. Es decir, Jesús
Nice and clear.
previno que María cayera en el fango del pecado. Hizo que...
Okay, so we kind of touched on the radio features. Let's show you. Go ahead and collapse that. I'm not going to show Shortwave 2, of course, because it's later at night. We're not going to pick up anything. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to show you what it sounds like when we have the Bluetooth.
Enter Bluetooth.
So it tells you to, which is kind of nice. And then when you insert a card into your SD slot, let me grab one here, and we'll show you the functionality, which this is really cool in emergency radio to have a little bit of multimedia functions, and I'll show you why this is so cool. Okay, so this one here, it sticks out just a little bit. That's the only thing I like about it, but maybe if you're worried about it, you could put some tape over it to protect it. Not a big deal. So, okay, we got it in there. Turn it on.
TF card play.
Okay, she said TF card play. Get some idea of the sound quality. Now, emergency radio that has all this functionality for $30 is just really, really cool. So, I love the fact that it has the capability to play off a micro SD, because not only can you do music, you can do radio programs too. No, that's not radio, but that's a banjo. Dun, dun, dun. Or if that's what they play when they're making moonshine. Probably. Alright.
Colgate Dental Cream to clean your breath while you clean your teeth and help stop tooth decay, and Luster Cream Shampoo for soft, glamorous, caressable hair bring you Our Miss Brooks, starring Eve Arden.
Cool stuff. This thing is really neat.
It's time once again for another comedy episode of Our Miss Brooks, written by Al Lewis. Well, with spring upon us, bigger and better playgrounds for children are the...
And now, in cooperation with police and federal law enforcement departments throughout the United States, CBS Radio presents Gangbusters!
Adventures in time and space, transcribed in future tense.
Love this stuff. So you can just fill a card up, with all these different programs. It's very rudimentary. There's no fast forwarding, or
National Broadcasting
or back and just back and forth on the tracks. No repeat. Just goes through a straight cycle.
bring you the...
Inner Sanctum Mysteries, brought to you by Bromo Seltzer.
There's a little bit of advertising built into that. That was pretty funny. Alright, so let's go ahead and... This is a cool feature right here. Did this today. Put it on. It's a recording.
George, I wish you'd look at the nursery. What's wrong with it? I don't know. Well then, I just want you to look at it is all, or call a psychologist in to look at it. What would a psychologist want with a nursery? You know very well what he'd want. His wife paused.
So this is Leonard Nimoy reading the Ray Bradbury book, Illustrated Man. So yeah, that's really cool. So I started putting audio books that you can find publicly free, general use, downloads. That's another nice thing to have. I mean, you have your music, you have your radio shows. Now you can have your audio books on there. It's just really, really neat. I talked about certain radios having a display where it showed text files. You could also, do a recording and record your voice, say, into your phone or something, and make a note. And then you could, make an MP3 file with that and put it on here. And then you could have contact lists that way by your voice, saying the name of the person, the address. So you could actually make an audio file of all your contacts. So you don't necessarily need to have a text display. So just something I thought I'd share. But yeah, let's do some final thoughts on this radio here. Okay, set it down. Yeah. All right. So the Kaito KA340 emergency lantern. Yes, this radio lantern gets a solid buy in my book for $30. It's just a lot of radio for the money. I mean, you get so much with this package. I really, really like it. Okay, so that's my opinion. It might vary, but I love the band coverage. I'm not a really huge shortwave listener, but I'm getting the shortwave channels that clear was really nice. FM, fantastic. The speakers, 2 1/4-inch speaker sounds really good. The audio quality is really nice. The AM, if you spend time, you can find some nice stations. I did find Zoomer with this earlier, and I was listening to some music from Zoomer. It's nice and clear, so it does have good AM capability. Of course, weather band coverage is pretty good. I didn't show you all the channels, but it gets about 3 for me in my area, and that's decent enough. The light is the main thing. This is the lantern. Emergency lantern, first and foremost, when you're in an emergency, lights go out. What do you want? You want a light that lights the room up, and this sucker is going to light wherever you need to go, and it's going to light it for quite a long time. And that's a bonus. Having the optional 3 AA batteries you can put in is a great feature. The passive solar, of course, the Dynamo is nice to have to charge it and turn to lithium, though I'd prefer to charge it this way. But if you forgot to charge it and you weren't ready to go, at least you have an option to charge the battery inside. But yeah, overall, great radio, great price. Definitely go out and get yourself one if you're interested in looking for emergency radio. This might be one of the better units to buy out there because of what it can do, and it does it very well. Okay, well, thank you for watching. If you like this video, hit the big thumbs up. I know you guys love it. If you're new to the channel, definitely subscribe and hit the little bell icon. Everybody says that, but you know what that means. If you don't hit the bell, you might miss out on a video. I put a video out every evening talking about new radios, used radios, vintage, hobby as far as kits to go, as far as refurbing a radio, anything that has to deal with radios in general, portable, we will definitely go over in this channel. So yeah, make sure you hit that so you don't miss out. And then comment about this radio below. I want to know your feelings, what you think about this radio. If you think it's definitely a good purchase, solid purchase. I think it is. I can't fault it for the price. It's right on the money. I mean, this is something I would recommend anyone to go out and get. All right, well, thank you for watching. Take care and goodbye.